On May 17, 2025, at Jurong Lake Gardens, listen for a drumming sound emanating from the car park. Spot a couple of wild golden-backed woodpeckers near a truck. The stressed or confused female woodpecker likely mistakes its reflection for another bird. The female woodpecker is obsessed with its reflection, won't let its mate use it. As the male woodpecker cannot share the truck's side mirror with its partner, it can only rest in close proximity and hear the female call. The male woodpecker watches its partner's reactions to the side mirror from the ground, filled with curiosity. Eventually, it takes off and flies away from the scene. When the female woodpecker is not confronting with its reflection in a mirror, it stays composed and refrains from reacting aggressively to what it sees. Observing its surroundings and pondering the whereabouts of the reflective female intruder. At this moment, the female woodpecker becomes aware that the reflective female intruder has disappeared, as her head is situated above the side mirror, and she flies off to an unknown destination. 2 days later, at Jurong Lake Gardens, we hear the same drumming noise emanating from the car park area. As we anticipate, the female woodpecker is perching on the truck's side mirror. Interestingly, the male woodpecker is nowhere to be found. The unexpected disappearance of the male woodpecker in the parking lot can be alarming, yet it's uncommon not to see the couple that has been together for an extended duration. The brief response to the question, "What caused the sudden disappearance of the male woodpecker?" is that the male woodpecker hasn't truly vanished. It has probably just moved to a different location for a while due to several factors, such as changes in food availability or a prohibition on encountering the reflective female intruder. This puzzling behavior makes us question, why does the female woodpecker strike at its own reflection? Is it possible that the female woodpecker views its reflection as an intruder or rival bird encroaching on its territory? When a female woodpecker encounters its own reflection, it often confuses it for another bird that poses a threat to its territory. This confusion prompts a fierce territorial reaction. The female woodpecker persistently strikes at the unfamiliar reflections, driven by confusion and fear, attempting to scare off the unknown threat. This misunderstanding can set off a series of defensive actions that may become troublesome when aimed at a reflection. The typically calm female woodpecker can turn into a fierce protector, dedicating hours to driving away its own image. At this moment, the female woodpecker realizes that the intruder has vanished as her head is positioned above the side mirror. Without delay, the female woodpecker launches into the sky and pursues the intruder. The female woodpecker encounters the reflective female intruder solely at another truck's side mirror, displaying aggressive behavior. Although most interactions with mirrors do not lead to serious injuries, the overall impact of frequent encounters can be considerable. The female woodpecker can experience fatigue because of extended bouts of aggressive behavior. Additionally, it may incur minor injuries from crashes against reflective surfaces or face health problems related to stress caused by ongoing perceived dangers. Upon close observation, we discover that the female woodpecker is dedicating less time to her partner and instead spending more time surveying the vicinity around the mirror. This change in behavior not only impacts the female woodpecker directly involved but also appears to affect its partner. A few moments later, the female woodpecker again realizes that the intruder has vanished as her head is positioned above the side mirror. Again without delay, the female woodpecker launches into the sky and pursues the reflective female intruder. The female woodpecker is no longer seen at the car park, presumably because it has successfully driven away the intruder. 5 days later, notice the female woodpecker on the right side mirror of a truck. And the male woodpecker is on the left side mirror. When a female or male woodpecker gazes at its reflection in the truck's side mirror calmly and without aggression, you will notice that the reflective intruder also behaves in a calm and non-threatening way. The woodpecker realizes that there is no danger posed by this reflective intruder. Instead of seeing a mere reflection, the female or male woodpecker perceives a friendly intruder. In summary, woodpeckers cannot identify their reflection as themselves and tend to be quite territorial when it comes to protecting their own interests. When the female woodpecker enters and shares the same mirror with her mate, a peculiar new bird appearing in the reflection might just spark their interest. This could lead them to believe that the reflected couple poses no threat to their bond. At this time, both woodpeckers realize that the reflective couple intruders are not exhibiting fear-driven aggression. Their usual behaviors remain undisturbed, and they take flight to a nearby tree. Ultimately, the woodpeckers come together at an old towering tree. The male and female woodpeckers inspect the area for possible threats like snakes and birds of prey. Crucially, it's essential to avoid encountering the reflective intruders that could damage their relationship and connection. Once the male and female woodpeckers feel secure and at ease, they both embark on their foraging adventures. The diet of woodpeckers primarily includes insects. Woodpeckers dig into trees to access insect larvae. This tale is grounded in our assumption. We trust you will find this video engaging and enjoyable. Thank you for staying tuned until the conclusion.